Then if you come to interior, of course, many of the questions about his actions, what happened with Miguna, all these issues about the Yala deaths and all that, I believe he's strong enough and he understands and he knows that he must come and have an opportunity to be asked those questions, and he should answer them so that Kenyans can have confidence in him. Because, like Haman has said, Matiangi is a very interesting person. He is a quick, very, very quick learner. And I noticed as he was staying longer in the Uhuru Kenyatta government towards his last days, by the time William Ruto had left, he was actually even behaving more presidential. Some people felt he was too arrogant. I believe that the political power play at that time was what really let him behave like that. Other than that, a deeply religious fella who is very simple. I find him highly, highly knowledgeable. You can discuss.
First of all, there is also the Baraga factor. And people were saying, oh, now Baraga should actually rest his ambition because Matiang'i seems to be the ultimate candidate. So we don't want to split votes from the Kikuyu, from the Kisii region as well. What is your assessment? Do you think also Jubilee is the best outfit for Matiang'i for your region? Or there could be something in the works up the collective sleeves? We don't know what is going to happen with the mergers and the coalitions as well. That will be another question.
Thank you, Dibal. That's a very big story. I'll try and run through it. Number one, Fred came 2 days ago. As you're aware, he has been doing some consultancy work with international organizations to feed his kids after government left.
So it was not it was not a political exile?
No, it was not. He was given a job and he actually works. It's because last time I said the international organization, I was informed that I should not mention because of the confidentiality they've signed in the agreements and all that. So he then came and...
Dibar, we forget that Matiang'i is also a professional. He was running a SUNY, a State University of New York parliamentary support program for many, many years.
I was coming there.
Yes,
I was coming there. The truth is, my history with Fred Matiang'i is long. Many people may not know this. I was campaigning for Uhuru Kenyatta against Mzee Nyachae when the elections were running. And at that time, I had not decided who I was going to support. Later, Matiang'i looked for me and he said, no, your father is supporting the president, but locally here, what I would ask you to do is, can you please support us? Mzee is running. Then we became friends. Later, when I became a member of parliament, I then found Fred, other than meeting him during those campaigns, I then found him at the parliament where he was attached from the City University of New York, handling parliamentary affairs. And he was there for about 10 years. And he was always coordinating the drafting of the bills and everything. Then, after my winning the elections, then Uhuru wins, and then he becomes a CS. Then as we are moving, he now becomes on the other side, I'm in the opposition. I would then raise issues critically. And every time I found he was somebody who would listen. When I would there were times we would disagree because of strategy or because of the issues as they came out at that time. And all the time, I found him to be engaging to me. I've met several individuals who also felt he was unassuming. He was somebody who felt he was too big for his job. That criticism, which I think is fair, because he himself has said that later, as he's now settled onto the job, he then realized that he had to change and begin to realize that the people were really the reasons why he was in office and all that. Whether you look at the successes or failures of Jubilee, my direct engagement with Fred is based on the three things which are constantly being mentioned. Particularly, he made me very, very comfortable with him when he tackled the issue of exam cheating. And the reality of it is that it was actually affecting Kisii more, because every year you would notice many schools from Kisii were being targeted, or they were actually participating in that. And it was very, very courageous for Fred to start dismantling the cartels which existed in Kisii and all the places in Kenya, the structure he set up. It's a long story which everybody knows. Then if you come to Interior, of course, many of the questions about his actions, what happened with Miguna, all these issues about the Yala deaths and all that, I believe he's strong enough and he understands and he knows that he must come and have an opportunity to be asked those questions, and he should answer them so that Kenyans can have confidence in him. Because, like Haman has said, Matiang'i is a very interesting person. He is a quick, very, very quick learner. And I noticed as he was staying longer in the Uhuru Kenyatta government towards his last days, by the time William Ruto had left, he was actually even behaving more presidential. Some people felt he was too arrogant. I believe that the political power play at that time was what really let him behave like that. Other than that, a deeply religious fella who is very simple. I find him highly, highly knowledgeable. You can discuss literature, you can discuss science, you can discuss the budget of Kenya. I mean, he's somebody you can engage with. So, in my discussions with him and why I am supporting him as president, I have told him that he must sit down with us so that we can tell him how our country is broken. And he must pronounce himself what is going to be done, accepting international practice, make sure he will follow the law, make sure that it's going to be a 100 days. Obviously, he knows the issues of Kenya, the land question. He knows the issue of historical injustices. He knows the matters within the police service. In fact, we were really shocked when we came through the airport and the police officers who were there were just clapping at the guy. And we were like, what happened? So when we started asking them, I didn't know that police officers' allowances, which Matiang'i left them being paid, have all been slashed off. I mean, everything is being done as if I feel that I'm comfortable for this race. And the final thing I wanted to say, Dibal, is that we see Matiang'i as a good candidate. We don't see him as being above anybody else. We believe that the other candidates, Mzee Kalonzo, Rigathi Gachagua, if he's allowed to continue running, you're talking about Eugene. I mean, these are fine, fine people. I'm beginning to really understand them differently. My view is that a time will have to come when each one of them will have to face the master. Each one of them will have to be in a position where you can actually go to Kisumu, hold a rally, and draw crowds. Where as a team you go and you're able to run the ship. As I had Professor Nyikal speak, that is so true. Money is going to be a factor, yes. It's going to be a very, very big factor. But I believe that a lot of us are going to tell our people that this is your money, and please let us vote people who are going to help you, because your country is in trouble right now. And I believe that Matiang'i is somebody who's reasonable, he's not extreme, and I think is qualified to give it a challenge.
Thank you.